This is our VSDC Free Video Editor tutorial for beginners on Windows. We're going to run you through everything you need to know to get started, plus a ton of video editing tips to get you cutting videos in VSDC's video editing software like a pro fast. Okay, here we are in VSDC Video Editor. Now for this tutorial, I am just using the free version. In the paid one, you will unlock more editing options, much better hardware acceleration and audio waveforms, but the free version is still really good. So if you are using the paid version, everything I'm going to show you here will apply. This is a complete tutorial showing you how to edit in VSDC. So we're going to hit the X here and close out of this. And then what we want to do on this opening screen is just select New Blank Project. And then you want to set up your project format. So the resolution, frame rate, the width and the height. Now to do this, you can just key everything in here manually. So you could go through here and select 4K, 1080p, your frame rate and everything individually, or there's some presets in here as well to help you with that. So I'm going to leave this here on YouTube. I am going to set it to 1080p. The video footage I'm using is 25 frames per second, so I'll be leaving this here. But you can see all the other options. You've got 24, 25, 29, 97, 30, right up to 60 frames per second. And so for this, ideally, you want to be matching whatever your primary video footage is. You want to match these settings here. Once you got those in, you want to click on Finish, and that's going to create our editing project. So a quick overview of the overall interface here. This is set up kind of like your Microsoft Office with the tabs across the top for projects, scenes, edit, view, editor. It's probably where we'll be spending most of our time. Exporting, conversion, tools, and the activation area here is because we're using the free version. When you do upgrade, this is where you can do it. We'll go back to editor here. This big black box in the middle here is your preview or your playback window. This is where you get to watch back your editing masterpiece while you're making it. On the right hand side here, we've got our properties window and our basic effects window. Now these are where we can really dial in and configure everything up and make changes to all of the settings. Now these do take up quite a bit of space here. So what I like to do is hit the little pin button to auto hide on both of these. So they're still accessible. They're just on the right hand side here, now under these tabs. Now, if you do come over to the view tab here, this is where you can turn those on and off as well. Down the bottom here is our actual timeline. This is where we will be editing from. On the side here is our object explorer. And this is another one that I really don't use too much, and I set to hide, just so that we've got more desktop real estate. This menu bar down the side here, we will be using. This is where we can come to add footage and music and everything. But know that all of this is fully customizable. You can pick up these menu bars and you can move them around, and you can even customize up the icons that are on here. Now you don't need to, and it's really not something that I do, but if you are someone who wants to configure everything up the way that you like, then VSDC gives you that support. All right, so to start this edit, the first thing we're going to need to do is to import our video footage. And there's a couple of different ways that we can do this. We can come down here to the little play button. This is add video. We can then go through and find our video clips and choose open. If we just go OK on this, it's going to add the video to our timeline as well, to the position where the cursor is. So from our cursor position, we can also specify we want it at the start of the current scene, end of the current scene, a manual position. Because this is the first clip we're bringing in, we're just going to go with OK. That's going to import it into our project and into our timeline. Now, if you want to see all of your video assets, all the footage and music and stuff that you are currently using or have imported into your project, you can always hit on this resources window here under view, and that's going to bring up a list of them here. Another way we can import footage is that we can use this resources window by right clicking on it and choose add resource. We can then choose what it is that we want to add. So I can go add video. We can pick a second camera angle here. And this is now listed in here in our resources window, but is not automatically added to our timeline. And the other way we can do it is just by dragging and dropping our files in. So we've got a folder here with some B-roll clips. I can drag that folder in, and it says, do you want to import all the files from within that path? And we can choose yes, no, or yes, including all the subdirectories underneath that. So I'm going to choose including subdirectories. That's going to import those files for us. So we have 3 B-roll clips that were in there. I'm also going to bring in our music into our resources area as well. Okay, so now that we have our files that we want to use imported into the program here, we then want to make sure that our primary footage is down on our timeline. So we already imported our primary clip directly into our timeline, but if you didn't, we can just delete this now, select on it, press delete. We can just grab our clip from the resources window here, and we can drag that down onto our timeline. We're going to go add as video. And that clip is now in our timeline. Now, another thing to know before we start editing is you can actually adjust all of these video layers. You can make them bigger or smaller. So because we're not going to have too many video layers in this project, I can just move my mouse cursor to this line and I can pull this down to stretch it up so that our timeline or our video footage here is going to be bigger. So now that we've got this set up, the next thing that we want to do is go through and remove any bad takes, any mistakes, or anything we don't want to have in our finished video. So if we move this playback head here, this red line with a green marker at the top, we can pick that up and we can move it around. So I'm going to move it back to the start. I'm going to press Spacebar to play back the video, or I can also press the little red button here. Okay, so what I want to do here is remove that start piece where I'm saying 1, 2, 1, 2, just doing a quick microphone audio check, and have the video start right after that. So I can play back through the video and I can find that point right before I start talking, or I can actually pick up this playback head here and click along to find that spot. Now I can zoom in on the timeline here for more control. We've got the plus and minus here, or I can just grab this slider bar and slide it across. So now that we've got this point here where we want to remove everything to the start, we want to click on our clip so that it's selected. I want to make sure we're over on the editor tab here, and we can hit this button here. This will split our clip into parts. Or you can press Ctrl K and that's going to add a cut or a split in your timeline at that point. So if we click on this, we can see that it's essentially made a cut in our timeline. So we have two clips. We have a clip on the left and a clip on the right. All we need to do then is select the clip on the left. We can press delete on the keyboard, or we can right click and choose delete, and that clip is now gone. So if I zoom in even further, move across, what this hasn't done though is it hasn't closed up that gap. So our video file here now starts with blank, and then I start talking at that point. So we want to pick up our clip, we want to click on it, we want to click and drag on it and move that back over to the left so that our video now starts at that point. Now let's come across to the very end of our video here, and let's find the point where our video finishes. Again, I can press spacebar or hit play to play through it, or I can just move this marker along to find that point, which is about here. Now I could select the clip and do exactly what we did before, come up here to split and then delete the clip, or I can actually grab this little handle on the right hand side, or the end of the clip here in the middle. You can see when we put the mouse over it changes to two arrows. We want to click and drag on that, and we can adjust the end point of our clip to now be at this new point. Now let's say that there was a piece in here that we wanted to remove. Again, I can come back over here. I can add a split in the timeline at that point. I can select, say, this clip here. I can then drag that clip back to remove however much I'd like to remove. And then I can pick up this clip and move it back to close up the gap. That's one way to do it. Now let's come back along here a bit further. Another way that we can do that is by using this playback head marker at the top. So I can click up here and drag out to highlight the section that I want to remove. So obviously you want to play this through to find out the area that you want to remove. These markers you can adjust afterwards, so I can click and adjust. But the idea is you want to select here the area that you don't want in your project. Click on the clip to make sure it's selected, and then come up here to the pair of scissors, click the little arrow next to it and choose cut out fragment, or you can press Ctrl Delete. So if we press this now, that's going to cut out that segment or that section that we just highlighted. So essentially it's created two cuts. It's selected the clip and it's deleted it, and it's closed up the gap. So that's a much faster way that you can start to cut down your footage. Now let's say for instance that we had a few cuts in our timeline here. I'll just go through and add a few, as if these were separate clips. So let's just say that we wanted to finish this clip here at this point here on this marker. We don't want this end bit. I've already showed you a couple of different ways that you could do it, but with this clip selected, we can also come up here to the pair of scissors, hit the little drop down and choose trim end. So this is going to trim everything off the end of our clip right up until the clip ends. So if I press this now, you can see that it's just removed everything again up to that marker. Likewise with this clip here, if we wanted to remove the start of it to this marker, we could select the clip, come up here and choose trim start. That's going to trim off the start of that clip. So what you want to do now is go through and use all of those tools that I've just shown you. You want to cut down your video footage to remove all the bad takes, all the mistakes, so that you're just left with your primary footage. And you can pick up and adjust clips and move them around to build out the story that you're after. Okay, once you've gone through and done that, the next step is to add in any B-roll or overlay footage. So again, you want to make sure that you've imported your video footage into this resources window. And if you're not seeing that, it's back under view, then resources window. You can turn it on and off. So I'm going to pick one of these clips here. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag it on top of our primary footage here. And I'm going to choose add as video. And what that's done is created a new video layer on top of or above our primary footage, which now has our B-roll footage on it. So my footage and me talking is still happening underneath this when we play it. Now these B-roll or overlay clips are treated exactly the same as our regular footage. We can pick the clips up, we can move them around, we can use all the tools that I just showed you to trim them down or to remove pieces of them. So we could add a split in the clip here, Ctrl K. We can then select the first clip here and we can delete it. And maybe we want our clip to finish about here. We can go back over to editor. We can select trim to end. So you want to go through now and bring in any of your B-roll or overlay clips onto your timeline. Now you can see here that it has brought these 3 clips in on 3 separate video layers. You can pick them up and move them around. They don't all have to be on different layers, but it's just to give you further creativity, knowing that you can layer these things up if you need to. Okay, once you've gone through, you've added in all your B-roll or overlay footage. Now we're going to add in any text or titles into our video. So I'm going to come back across to the very start of our video here, and we're going to add in a name title card for me, or a lower third. So I want to come over here to the T, the type tool. We're going to add text. This is asking us where we want the text position. Because I've already selected the start here, I'm just going to choose from our cursor position and go OK. And then now I can just draw out the area we want our title to appear. So I'm just going to create a pretty basic title here. Let's type in Justin Brown, Primal video. We can select this, we can customize it all up. We can make it centered. We could change the font. Let's go impact. So we can customize this up to match our branding. So we might even want to select the bottom text here, and we could change the text color. Something like this is going to be close to our Primal video color, and maybe we'll make the whole thing a bit bigger. Okay, something really simple. Now if we take a look down in our timeline here, we've now got a text layer here as well. This is treated the same as any other clip that we've got in our timeline. We can pick it up, we can move it around, we can adjust the start time, the end time. So if I grab this end handle on the end here, I can shorten this right up because we're not going to want it on screen for too long. And maybe we'll zoom in on our timeline here, about here. So we'll probably have it so that at the start of the video, I am talking for a little bit before the title comes on. Title appears, title disappears. Now, if we select on this, we can come up here to title effects, and there's some different effects and things that we can add in here. But if you do want to create some amazing titles and things that you can use in your videos, Placeit is an amazing source for that. And so is Video Hive, and I'll have links to those down in the description. So now what you want to do is go through and add in any titles and text to your entire video. Once that's done, we're going to add in any transitions or effects. So let's say we want to make this title transition on and not just appear at that point and disappear at the end. Let's add some sort of effect to it. So let's move our playback head here to the start of the clip, and let's make sure the clip is selected. We want to come up here to video effects. Let's come down to transitions, and let's just choose a wipe. And it asks us where do we want to apply this wipe. We're going to choose from the cursor position, and I'm going to go OK. So if we hit play on this now, you'll see that we've now got this little effect that happens. So the view that we're currently looking at now is the timeline or the view inside of that text layer. So this will allow us to, again, stack up or create multiple effects in here. Let's say that we also wanted to have that same effect for the title to disappear. We could come back out here to our main scene, zoom in so that we're putting our cursor in the right position. Somewhere about here, we want the effect to start. Now we could go through the same process here and choose video effects, transitions, and then pick the transition out that we want. So we could go wipe. That's taken us back into this text tab. And again, we get to choose where we want this transition to start from. Now I do find it easier to always go from the cursor position if you'd set the position where you want it to start from, but you could also go in this case to the end of the scene, and that's going to position this effect right until the end of this clip. But I'm just going to leave this here as it is and go OK. So you can see here that we've got our wipe to, which is the transition on, and then it's going to transition off at that point. And again, these effects are things that we can adjust. So if I want that effect to happen quicker, I can shorten that down. Now to come back to our main timeline, we're clicking on scene 0 here. And then if we play that through, this is what it looks like. So it fades in and fades back out. So while that process is a little bit more complicated than some of the other editing tools out there, it's cool that you get so much more control over the effects and have the ability to layer them up. Now in terms of other effects and things that you could add onto your clip, if we select our B-roll footage here, come back up here to video effects, in here there's different filters and presets and things that you can apply, or you can add blur, you can reshape and resize and mirror your clips in here as well. And there's also different effects like a glitch and 3D effect that you can apply in here. Now if you want to speed up or slow down your clips, then you want to select your clip. You want to come over to this properties window if it's not already displayed, and down near the bottom here you've got this setting here for speed. So it's currently set to 100%, so this is playing back at normal speed. We can slow this down, so let's say that we wanted to play it back at 60% speed and hit enter, then that has stretched out our clip here to make this now a slow motion clip. Now me recording the computer screen here has really slowed down the video playback, but you get the idea. That's now in slow motion. Likewise, you want to speed it up. We're going to come back to that properties window. You can type in a number above 100. So we could go 120 and it's now 20% faster. Now in terms of transitions between our main primary footage down here, I wouldn't normally add any fade or transition between clips where they are almost the same. Instead, what we do with our YouTube videos is that I will zoom in on one of the shots so that as it changes between the clips, it feels like the shot is a little bit different. It's almost like having a second camera angle. So if I click on this second clip here that we want to make a bit bigger, I can then come up the top here and we've got these black handles around our clip. I can scale this up a little bit. Now you don't want to go too much because depending on how you film this, you could be losing quality at this point, but you just want to make it a little bit bigger to essentially zoom it in just to change up the shot. Now in order to really sell this effect and have it look really good, you want to try and line up, if you've got someone on camera, that's a terrible photo, you want to have the eyes almost in the same position. So this is our before shot and this is our second shot. It's close. I might move it across a little bit again so those eyes match up a little bit better. Back to our first shot. You can see it's just a subtle difference between the two, but this is what we're doing to break up a lot of our footage and help you hide any mistakes that you're making in your videos. Okay, so you want to go through, add in any transitions, any effects, or any zoom ins on your footage. Once that's done, we're going to add in our music. So we're going to come back across here to our resources window. We're going to find the music tracks that we have. Now, if you're looking for great music for your videos, I will link a YouTube video down below where we talk about the best music sites out there, free and paid. But for us, our top two recommendations are Artlist and Epidemic Sound. So I'm going to pick this music track here. Again, I'm going to click on it, drag it down into our timeline and let it go. And just the same as all of our other clips, we can pick them up, we can move them around, we can adjust the start time, the end time, we can add cuts and all of that fun stuff with your music, just the same as you do with your video clips. So now that you've got your music in, it's a good idea to hit play and go through, and you might want to adjust some of your cuts on your primary footage to match the beat or to tighten up your edit now that you've got your music in there. And then from here, the next step is to adjust all of your volume levels. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that if you do have someone speaking in your video, that their volume is the most important piece to get set first. Music and sound effects and everything are a secondary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select our music track here. I'm going to come over to properties and I'm going to select audio volume here, and I'm just going to turn it right down to -100. So it's muted. So we're going to mute our music so that we can focus on getting our primary content volume levels right first, and then we can adjust and bring back in the music volume levels afterwards. So with that muted, one way to do this would be to click on our first clip here, come over to properties window, and we can adjust our volumes up and down here just as we saw. If we click on this, we get the volume slider, we can turn it up a little bit, we can turn it down to dial it in this way. Now, if you're going to do it manually, I would suggest that you've at least got headphones on so you can really gauge how loud it's going to be. But there's also a really cool feature in here for normalizing your audio and for getting it all set correctly. So what you can do is select all of your clips here, just drawing a box out around them all. Come up the top here to audio effects, down to amplitude, and choose normalize audio. Now for this, I like to change the percentage to 90, go OK, and it's going to go through and it's going to adjust all the volume levels to that 90% mark, giving you a little bit of a buffer to 100% because you don't want to be going over that. That's where your audio is going to sound distorted and really bad. So now each of these clips has been adjusted and all set to the same level. So even if you did have some that were louder and some that were quieter, these are all now set to the same. Now you can override each one of these clips if you want, again by clicking on them, coming over to the properties window, and you can see that the volume level here has been boosted to 3.3. Next one here, 2.6. The next one here was 1.4. So it's actually gone through and done it all for us. So So once that's done, we can come back to our music track, we can select that, and we can increase that volume level. Now where you're setting this is going to come down to personal preference. It's going to come down to the video you're making, but it's also going to come down to the audio track and how loud that is. So what we find for our YouTube videos for background music, we're normally looking anywhere between -30 and -20, depending on the track. But really it's just a matter of setting this audio level, pressing play, seeing what it sounds like, making sure that your music isn't too overpowering, and then making any adjustments from there. Now that your music is in and your volume levels are sorted, next up we're going to color grade or color correct our videos. Now if we come back over to our first clip here and make sure that's selected, one way that we can do this is we can come up here to the video effects, we can come down to quick styles, and these are different presets and things that we can use. Think of these like Instagram filters that you can add on to your videos. Now this really isn't something that I would use. I'm going to undo this now, but there is a lot of presets in there that you can use. But also under adjustments, this is where you can get more specific with the tools and the effects that you're adding here. There are some auto ones, auto levels on auto contrast and auto gamma, but in my experience, I've never really had great success with these. I'd much rather dial everything in myself. So while there are some good effects and things in here to help you adjust your colors and the look and feel of your video, there's also a really powerful feature in VSDC, and it also lets us adjust all of our clips here at once if they are selected. So I'm going to draw out a box across all of our primary video footage here, just so that they are all selected. I'm going to come up here to the basic effects window, and in here, as I make changes to things like the brightness, contrast, gamma, color, temperature, these are actually going to apply to all of our clips. So I'd normally adjust the brightness first, then the contrast, then come down to the color temperature. So you can see if we move this one way, we're adding more warmth to our shot, and back the other way, we're going to cool it back down. And then saturation, we can either add more colors, we really don't want to go overboard with this one, or we can remove the colors. So this is how much color is in your shot. So you really don't want to move this one too much. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Now there are more advanced tools in here as well, like your RGB curves and your hue saturation curves and YUV curves down the bottom here as well. But for probably most people watching this, these tools up here are probably going to do everything that you need. So we've gone through now, we've tweaked the colors in our primary footage. You can also make adjustments to your B-roll and overlay footage too. It's following the same process. Once you're done with that, it's then time to save or to export your video. So you can come up here to export project. Once again, there's a ton of different presets in here for you to choose from. So if you do have a specific platform that you're looking to upload to, like Instagram or Facebook, you can start with their presets and customize up from there. So for us, I'm going to leave this here on YouTube, and it's gone ahead and it's picked a profile for us, or output settings for us. We can customize this up. There's other presets in here that we can choose. We're currently on ultra quality. We can choose high quality and normal quality. So if you do need a smaller file size, then you can customize this up here. But I'm going to leave this here on ultra quality. We can choose where our file is going to save to our computer. We can change the file name down here if we need to. I'm just going to leave this here all as defaults, and then we just want to hit export project, and our project is going to start exporting. Now again, all of this has been with the free version. If you do want faster exports and better timeline performance, that's something you can access in the pro version of VSDC, which is ridiculously cheap. But that is a complete end-to-end tutorial on editing using VSDC. Now to help you level up your video editing in any video editing application, we've put together a free PDF guide. There is a link on screen taking you through the ultimate step-by-step process so that you know you're editing videos down in the most efficient way. And this is the process that we just took you through in this video. So don't forget to download your free copy, and I will see you in the next video.